Okay, here I'm going to show you how to update a slide in Photoshop. We're going to use the slides are for the NUC screen that's downstairs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to change the PowerPoint grid and place it onto the career services slide. It'll also be how you kind of update the slides that are there. So first we're going to open up Photoshop, and then we're going to find our actual slide file from Photoshop, which I downloaded it recently. And so we're going to take that slide, open it up, and I'm going to remove the original grid content that's on there. Currently, we have the content on there from last month, and what we're going to try to do is get the slide content on there from this month. Now, right now, my Photoshop is loading up. It's reading the Photoshop format. And we're going to take the content from a PowerPoint. Now, I know this is kind of crazy. It's all gridded up, and this is like the complex way that we did it before. We had all these different points in here. We don't need this content in here the way we had it before. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to erase all the content that was there. I know it's kind of a tedious process, but we have to get it off of the screen so that we can see what we had on there, sorry, in the first place. And so I'll probably fast forward through this part of the video if I can. Basically, there's a lot of stuff. This was really complex, and it's going to be very simple. In fact, we're going to save this after we get through so that we don't have to do this anymore as a blank grid for this slide. Now, the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into our PowerPoint, and we're going to basically export a file, a picture file that we can use to replace this grid. Okay, now everything's clear, right? I'm going to go ahead and save because I don't want that content on there anymore. We're going to go into PowerPoint, and what we need is a high enough resolution version of a picture to place into this, because it's easier to make grids in PowerPoint than it is to make them in Photoshop. As you saw, that was quite complex. So what I'm going to do here, we go into our original slide that I just got sent by Donna. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just remove this right here, this October part, because I don't want that on there at all visually. Now we're going to put this grid inside of that slide we just had. But right now it's not big enough in its current state. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the design and the page setup. And what I want to do is I want to double the size of this. So it's at 10 and 7.5. I want to change it to 20 and 15. Enter. Okay, that's big. That's bigger. That'll look a lot better on the actual screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this slide and I'm going to go to the start button. I'm going to go to save as. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to save it as a JPEG. Okay, I'm going to save it to my desktop for now so we can see what I'm working with. Save it as a JPEG, current slide only. I don't need the previous slide on there, but I know I need to put that October information on there. Okay, here we go. I take this. Now I'm going to, here's my slide right here. Sorry, Apple's asking me to do a software update. That's my slide. So I'm going to open that slide with Photoshop. And then I'm going to slide that piece that we just created. I'm going to use the crop tool, which is right here to the top left, and I'm going to drag over this area and crop this part of the image out. Okay, as close as I can get to it. Maybe just a little bit on the inside of it. Crop it. And now I have that image there. I don't like that top bar there. So I can get it down just a little bit. Can't really get it fully, but you get the picture. Okay, so we crop this out, right? Then I take this and I'm going to drag this over to my slide. Now I have it here on my slide, but it's too big. So I'm going to select that layer, which is layer 9 right now. I'm going to hit Control T, and then that's going to transform it and resize it. But I'm going to hold the Shift key while I drag the edge diagonally to maintain the aspect ratio of the content on here. So now that's about as big as it's going to allow me to make it. So we put it in here, and here we go. And we hit Enter. But when we made it, the UCO logo is too big over the top of it. We're going to select the logo layer, and we're going to do the same thing with the logo and just reduce the actual size of the logo. And hit Enter. This is still kind of cornered off on the edge. and there's our content. Hit enter. Basically everything is fine in here. Cool trick that I'm going to do real quick because I want this blue right here to match the rest of this slide. I'm going to select this layer right here of the shape. I'm going to sample it with the color picker, and then I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to select that layer, mode, and I'm going to go to replace color. I'm going to select that color in the top part. This is the color that I'm replacing. This fuzziness means how much of it do I want to select? All of it at 200%. Then I'm going to go ahead and select that bottom color. Oh, made a mistake. Go back out. Sample the bottom color again. Same thing. Mode, adjustments, replace color. Got that top color. Now I'm taking the bottom color and I'm replacing that with that. It's at 200. Better match to our actual slide. Alright, slide it around however I want to play with it. File, save the file, go back in, save it as a JPEG, hire Broncos ad. I'm going to save it to my desktop again. And then, oh, I almost forgot. On the other one we had October in there. So we need to find a place that's conducive to put October. Well, I'm going to put October over here to the side because I don't have any other room. I'm going to match the font to the impact font. Type out October. Right now that layer is, I'm going to raise it up to the top of all the layers that are here. And I'm going to change the color up here to white. And then we're going to do the same thing. Select that layer, hit Control T to transform it. Hold Shift as we transform it. And then I'm just going to put the October right here on the side. We can add whatever additional effects we want to add to it. That's pretty much it. If I want this to stand out a little bit more, just the last thing, I'm going to add a layer style. Go to Layer, drop down to Layer Style, Blending Options. I'm going to add a little bit of a drop shadow behind October to make it a little bit more visible. That distance is basically the distance where that October is at. I want it to be a very short distance away. I'm going to just go ahead and use 3, which is the default. Hit enter. File, save as JPEG, turn on my desktop again, look at it, check it over for any errors, then it's on my desktop, and now we have the slide that you sent to me, and it is featured on the NUC video screen. This tutorial took a little bit longer than I expected, but hopefully this 8 minutes that we spent will save us countless minutes in the future of updating and sending things back and forth through email, because you'll be able to update the slides yourself. So contact me if you have any questions. My email address is mlatimer@uco.edu.